So today we will, the topic we will discuss, that is on communication on internet, right? Communication, mainly we know that is data communication. In today's world, all of us use internet, but we have to know the backbone of the structure of the internet through which the communications, voice, data, means audio visual communication happens smoothly. Okay. Uh, Generally, we sometimes we talk about that internet speed, but taking this factor into consideration, there are so many other factors which can restrict the speed of the connections in spite of the speed from the sending end keeps intact. Still, uh, there are some factors, intermediate factors, which can restrict the speed of the internet connections. Okay. So the people from the computer science engineering domain should know about this. Okay. So let me start presenting. The screen is visible to all of you. The screen is visible. Yes or no? Hello. Okay, fine. So communication on the internet, the topic. It is according to your syllabus. It comes under the module fifth module, right? Third module and fourth module are totally based on the practical. Okay. Some theoretical parts of the questions which you can expect on theory paper, that I will discuss. But most of the topics under these modules uh, from these your practical, right? What you are doing, right? Uh, okay, so it comes under the module fifth, internet telephony. Mainly, it is nothing but the internet connections. Okay, so you know email. All of you are familiar with the email. How the email ID uh, we gets generated from the different server, right? And in the previous class we talked about the domain name, right? So you can also, if you purchase a G Suite account, you can get your own email ID with your own domain, right? Like that, it will be if you purchase a domain, for example, at abc, okay, .com or .co.in not edu. Do you know that the different types according to the uh, purpose of its application, it depends on whatever it will be, com or edu or org, right? Mainly the personal commercial purpose, the .com you will get, right, or .in also is allowed. So in G Suite account you will be getting some free space, and you can get your own email ID, right? Means you are purchasing a space, your own server through a host, right? It may be GoDaddy or so many other host provider are available in the market. Okay? And it depends on the price, depends on the different schemes. You know that. Internet relay chat, IRC, the form of real-time internet chat, right? And mainly, I don't know how many of you have experience. There's Orkut. Have you heard the name Orkut? You are not interactive. My voice is okay. Yes, sir. A long time ago, sir. Yes. Long time ago means up to 2000, the Orkut was so much popular. So the next version, it was taking the concept from Orkut. So through these different portal, we can have a chat um, with our friends. Okay. So it is mainly used for group communication in discussion forum, means it is many to many communications, right? Forum called channels also, and you know that definitely it will be on broadband connection, means this the communication pattern will be broadband, not baseband. And earlier class also I told you something was the difference between baseband and broadband. It also allows one-to-one communication via private message, right? So here private message means a message which is completely encrypted, right? So there are so many protocols you will be studying in cryptography and network security, right? MD5 is a uh, in this domain, popular protocol in this domain rather. So and both chats and data transfers via direct client to client protocol. Okay. Because here the server uh, means either the AB or code or whatever other like say uh, your, so many other forums are also there. LinkedIn, right? So server, whenever you are creating an account, definitely you will be a client of that server. So it comes under the direct client to client protocol. So IRC client software is available for every operating system. This software is available for every operating system means the prerequisite to run this software. You have to install the software. No? Once you will start communicating with your friends through this server. So the prerequisites uh, infrastructure must be associated with the every operating system. It may be under Linux or Windows. Video conferencing, so the class you are taking is one kind of video conferencing also. The video conference, the telecommunication technology, which permits two or more people in different locations to interact via mutual video or audio transmission simultaneously. It is also called visual collaboration and is type of groupware. So it can also be used to share documents, computer displayed information, or whiteboards. So you have to write if you if you're asked to write some words on it, let's say from short notes, you will be writing this. This will be sufficient. And if you can draw a diagram, right? Say many to many, right? And drawing means you will draw some figures of computer as nodes. Here you will not utter the term computer, you will utter the term node. Actually in communication, each and every uh, client is treated as node, right? Like say telephonic communication. Okay. Your mobile is also can be considered an node, right? Chat, online conversation in which you are immediately able to send message back and forth to another. It's called chat. So could you give me an example where that unidirectional or one directional communication used to happen in the year 97 to 2000 2004? Hmm. Could you name uh, a system where unidirectional means both side communication doesn't happen in simultaneously? Could you name a system?
Email.
Hmm?
Email.
But email is not that audio visual communication. Like say what you are using, that is this platform. It is audio visual. So email is a message, and also that you can send a video, right? But only message, text message. You we used to.
Turing machine.
Hmm?
Turing machine.
Turing machine. You have started.
The code used to be sent.
You just name the commercial application of it. Turing machine is a backbone of that automata, right? Turing machine, if you say Turing machine, you will not. It's not clear the commercial. It is actually it works as background of any type of automata system, right? Uh, Actually, it was um, pager. Have you heard the term pager? Pager. Have you heard the term pager? It was a small device you can inside into a pocket, right? So pager. Have you heard that? Have you heard this name? I used to work as right. So that time we get message for any service down. Okay, I the domain what I got the job in, that was that nowadays that AC coaches you see na, that is then your whatever AC coaches, you can see that there is a panel like say the height like maybe like an Almirah. Apparently you will think that is an Almirah. Okay, it's placed in just in besides of the entry, besides of the door, right? When you where you enter through your coach. So Siemens was there. The job 110 because that cooler or whatever mechanical uh, said that the power supply was a three phase 415 AC, but the available is from the battery 110, right? That this conversion actually was designed. The circuit was designed by Siemens, and now also it is working on, but the technology has been improved a lot. So that time for any kind of breakdown, we used to go the junctions, railway junctions, mainly the railway RTS department. I got the job in RTS department of Siemens, right? I got posted in that the Siemens near Ruby Hospital, Kolkata, right? So Siemens used to cost 15 lakhs per coach. I'm talking about the 1997. Okay. So that time the message, official message we used to receive through this pager. It was an black and white display device, a tiny device we used to keep in pocket, and just like that message we get message, and only one time communication, but not that both the communication cannot be done simultaneously, right? So that is also communication system in that on the time. Okay, so very difficult to uh, chat over this uh, system. That time the technology was not developed to that extent. So online conversation in which you are immediately able to send message back and forth to one another is called chat. You know all this. Remote access means you can access nowadays. There are so many softwares through which, if you configure properly, you can access the remote desktop also, isn't it? And mainly that the call center, you have a wrong concept that if you get a job in call center, if there are two kinds of job. One is that just to just to communicate with the clients. The call centers are mainly for the advertisement or for any promotional purpose, and that people who are working under this domain, only this field is available. No, there is an important field, that is that troubleshooting, technical troubleshooting, right? So you are sitting in front, sitting on another place. You have to know the trouble with the system. Okay, there may be any technical trouble, and you have to sort it out sitting on a remote place. So that needs vast experience, and the salary is also good for that job, right? So generally, the engineers get placed in on this position. So the call center is job means it's not that only the non-technical job, right? Anyways, so this can be done with or without any security, authentication, or encryption technologies, depending on the requirement, which encourage work from home culture. Why? Because the clients whom you are communicating already authenticated, right? With the authenticated users, you will entertain, means there will be a dedicated IP or whatever it is. So there is no chance, there is no required, there is not no, it's not required for that, that the clients will be authenticated. So uh, authentication already is established. You are just communication. So only at the time of uh, means at the time of installation, or at the time of the uh, getting the system ready, so its authentication is done first time. So for each time authentication is not needed for the remote access menu. The collaboration, low cost and rapid sharing of ideas, knowledge and skills has made collaborative work easy. It is convenient way to stay in touch with the colleagues through group chat or private message. Email is also an easy way to communicate for the collaboration type of job. And it is collaboration helps voice and video chat between team members and to work with shared set of documents, right? So this figure is meaningful for this. File sharing, there are so many ways to share a file, mainly for confidential or means that encrypted system of file sharing is through a command what we use in our Linux system. In earlier class, I told you why that we prefer Linux operating system installed in server, mainly for its security, right? So there is a command FTP, which is also used in Windows, but the features covered uh, FTP under Linux is much more secured, right? That's why we prefer to send a file from one end to another end, right? So file transfer protocol, FTP server for user to download content easily. It can be put into a shared location or onto a cloud. Nowadays, you know that cloud computation, cloud technology has come. So it can be shared in the cloud also, right? For instant use by colleagues, mainly for its speed, right? Streaming media, you know that sometimes you don't get the proper streaming when we conduct the classes. So definitely it depends on the internet connectivity. So many and televisions Many existing radio and television presenters provide internet feeds of their live audio and video streams. And I don't know whether you have got experience uh, to uh, to use that YouTube Live. How many of you have experience to use YouTube live streaming? Hello. How many of you have experience to use YouTube Live? You know that certain configurations is required to get the optimum. Actually, at the time of lockdown when it was started, I took so many classes on YouTube Live, right? And it's very good. You will feel good if you can configure properly so that optimum streaming can be done. As of now, also means YouTube uh, provides the optimum streaming. No other platform can provide that kind of optimal streaming, right? So because the technology or the method they use is much more advanced, much more intelligent, right? A little bit of configuration needs to be done before you use the YouTube Live. It's good. Okay. So an internet connection connected device such as computer or something more specific can be used to access online media in much the same way as television or radio receiving. File transfer protocol, what we are talking about, the FTP client on client base and FTP server. So mainly in the industry, each and every department, important department, generally is provided with a different FTP server. It depends on its department, right? Have you heard the name SAP? SAP? Have you heard the name SAP? How many of you have heard this technology, SAP, SAP? Please respond. SAP is a very important domain. I think you might have heard. Actually, I used to work SAP corporate trainer on this SAP domain in a sister concern of Tata. So in SAP, if you know that, or if you study, you can get to know that in SAP there are different modules like A5 modules, HR modules. So there are so many different modules. So each and every modules in SAP also that we get with the different FTP servers, which only keep track of the files on that specific department or on that specific modules, right? That's why it it becomes easier to segregate. Okay. Telnet is another system. It means telecommunication network. Generally, this FTP and Telnet, in which layer it belongs in ISO/OSI? Could you say FTP, Telnet, in which belong? There are 7 layers in ISO/OSI. In OSI, there are 7 layers. So FTP, Telnet belongs to which? These protocols belongs to which layer? Could you say? You have studied the computer networks, na? You have already studied computer networks, or you are going to study in this year? I forgot. Hello, please respond. ISO, SI, and TCP, uh, these uh, these means protocols are there, means the structures are there in your computer network subject, right? In application layer, there are 7 layers, starting from the physical layer, data link layer, network layer. presentation layer, session layer, and topmost layer is the application layer. From this layer only we interact directly with the system, right? So in application layer, FTP or telnet, we get the protocol for FTP and telnet. Okay. Uh, just a minute. Uh, so telnet client, telnet server, through these protocols according to the system you are using, TCP/IP or the ISO/SI, okay, through which we can communicate with the server. News group, so many persons under a common forum can make a news group and can communicate between them on a particular topic, right? So actually, a news group uh, takes the help of session layer also, because the keeping track of session is also required for the news group, right? Because it works under a particular topic, so that in future we can keep track according to the session ID, right? So news group is important for the session layers also. Voice over telephony, VoIP, stands voice over IP, where IP refers to the internet protocol, which is a base for all internet communication. This phenomenon began as an optional mutual voice extension to some of the instant messaging system that took off around the year 2000. In recent years, VoIP systems are easy to use and as convenient as traditional telephone. Voice quality can still differ from call to call, but is often equal to and can ever beat the traditional calls. Definitely, because traditional, since it is this optimization happens over here for the digital signals, that's why we get much more advanced signal, okay, in through the system in voice over IP. But there's a chance of breach of security is also is a concern for this VoIP. That's why the system we are using right now, that is your this means Google Meet, takes care sufficiently for this security. Otherwise, there are so many other platforms available also. I don't want to mention the name. uh, one software, one platform is very popular. Still now it is used in many educational institutes or organization, but the free version is uh, what to say. We have to take care of this, because there's a chance of security breach of security, because that the system you are communicating uh, can be hacked, right? As you know that we keep so many important confidential documents or the bank details or whatever, so that can be hacked if it is not so. That's why I generally don't prefer only this is best the system we are using, that is the Google Meet, because Google takes care of all this, and it is the system means encryption system is much more stronger than other platform. That's why it's good. Voice over telephony, instant messaging (IM) is a process of transferring real-time messages between users. It facilitates private chat room atmosphere. IM alerts user when some of their peers are online. So you will study. I am not wasting the time studying this, reading out this. And internet telephony. Internet telephony covers all the topics what we have discussed so far. So internet telephony is the transport of telephone calls over the internet, right? Because we are using, like right now I'm using this means actually the the technology which is used in internet telephony uh, is used in all over the world, right? Because IPT could use a traditional telephone device, multimedia PC, or dedicated nowadays. That is um, fiber networks is also available. We get the maximum speed through this uh, communication system, fiber communication system. Phone, fax, video calls can now be placed over the internet. So all these things are now embedded into one communication system, that is internet telephony. All this, it has come under one platform, right? Now, previously it was a different system, right? Phone or that video call or fax, all has come under one IP telephony system. Okay. Briefly, an internet telephony application compresses and digitizes your analog voice signals and sends them as individual packets across IP network, like said the modem, right? To the recipient internet telephony application. The recipient application then decompresses the voice transmission. As a result, you have the internet voice communication, right? So you will study this as a short note. VoIP use these protocols: session initiation, SIP session initiation protocol, session description protocol, media gateway control protocol, and real-time transport protocol. So all these protocols covers this session layer and internet layer and presentation layer also, right? Skype protocol. I say that for the remote access of the computer, we use this Skype protocol. We will discuss two of the most fundamental: H2 3.323 and SIP. So SIP is an acronym for Session Initiation Protocol. When we start a particular session, first session, the network establishment must be the first job. That's why this keeping track of session is very important, because after that, that session will be dedicated for that communication, particular communication. Okay, but if it breaks, then again it needs to be established right from the beginning. So SIP is a protocol to establish, modify, and terminate multimedia session like IP telephony. So you need to know all this. And SIP facilitates multi-party multimedia session like video conferencing involving three or more people. In a short span of time, SIP has become integral to VoIP and largely replaced H.323. So that's all with the today's topic. It actually has covered your module uh, module 5 intertelephony, and these protocols I will discuss in the next class, and that search engine and web crawler is left. So it will be end of syllabus, and if anything is left from your practical class, I will cover. So I will communicate with your Sandipan sir. Okay. So have you done JavaScript? JavaScript has been discussed in the lab properly. Hello. JavaScript. Okay. Perl is discussed? I think no. Perl has not been discussed. Perl has been discussed. Perl? I'm talking about Perl. No, right. So, okay, I will see. If it is left, then I will uh, conduct in your lab class also. Okay, so let's conclude our today's session. So your next lab class will be started, right? I think from now, 11:55. It was a scheduled time. Okay, bye. And one more thing that you will be getting, if you are supposed to appear in the slot 2 internal exam, the questions pattern and syllabus will be same. So the topics we are covering right now, I will keep the questions on the second internal test, unit test 2. Okay, but whatever you have the syllabus for the first in slot 1 test. the same syllabus and pattern of questions will be same. Okay, so don't get worried. Okay, bye. Let's conclude our today's session.